Hello and welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today we're going to talk about God of War Ragnarok. Okay, God of War Ragnarok is right around the corner. I did secure my pre-order today. Money transferred from my account to Sony's account earlier this morning, so I do have it. I will be covering it. I've decided I want to live stream this game for you guys. Like I do. I want to do that. But at the same time, I also want to be able to maximize the amount of views that I can get for God of War. Because let's face it, this is going to be PlayStation's biggest game of the year. Like it's going to. I actually sat down this morning and I turned on my PlayStation and I went to the store and I watched like the newest little the newest little thing they got for it, and it kind of got me a little bit hyped. I'm like, oh boy, man. So they're talking about how they wanted to make it 3 games, but then they condensed it all into just the 2. I've already played the first one. So this second game should be packed and full of content. So it should be a pretty epic experience. I'm kind of hyped for that. I want to truly have a 40-hour experience with God of War Ragnarok. If it can deliver that and it can look good and be good, I might be happy with that, man. This might be the best freaking PlayStation game to come out this year. So that's good, you know? I mean, like right now as it sits, like Elden Ring is like sitting there at the top for me. Like Elden Ring is seriously like my game of the freaking of a decade. I love that game. It gives me everything I wanted from a third person perspective for a Castlevania type experience, Castlevania Symphony of the Night, and it gives me that in a third person open world, doesn't hold your hand experience, and I love that. And it's taken me a long time to get through Elden Ring, but I'm not rushing it. I am having fun when I get in there and I explore and I have fun for a few hours. I'm not in no rush to finish Elden Ring. I'm just not. Like, it is what it is. That game is for me. That's why I'm not making a lot of content on it anymore. Like, that experience is for me now. I'm just trying to get the best experience from Elden Ring that I can. God of War, on the other hand, is going to be something that I am going to essentially sit down and play right through. Like, I'm going to. I do that with every PlayStation first-party game. I sit down and I just get through them. And I try to block everything else out, and I just get through those games. And it's just because of the way they play mostly, that the really thick, heavy story content really makes it so it's like I need to get through this. Because if I space something like that out so far and so long, then I don't feel like I get the same impact that I would get if I just sat through it. So I do. That's what I did with Horizon Forbidden West, and maybe that's why I'm just like, oh, I don't know about these, and they kind of just come out, and I start to be like, oh my gosh, man, this is gonna take me this much time, and I'm gonna get through it. But I don't know. I'm pretty hyped for God of War Ragnarok now after watching that this morning. I was struggling, you know, to decide if I was gonna do Ragnarok or Sonic Frontiers, but I'm able to get both of them. I talked to my wife, we moved some stuff around, and we're going to make it happen so that I can cover both of those games. Because I'll tell you what, I've been a Sonic fan far longer than I've been a God of War fan. I love Sonic. I'm really looking forward to an open world Sonic adventure, and from what I've seen, IGN did not do that game good service, but from what I've seen from like the Sega stuff, I'm happy. Like, I'm excited. I'm pumped. I'm really looking forward to Sonic Adventures. And yeah, you can say that's a cap on whatever, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm looking forward to God of War. I am looking forward to God of War, but I am tempering my expectations, and I'm cooling down my hype. Like, I'm cooling down my hype because I don't want to get let down, and I want it to blow me away. I literally want it to blow me away. I mean, everybody says that I cap or whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm an Xbox fanboy. I love video games, man. It doesn't matter. Like, you guys see me sit here and be like, oh yeah, man, Saints Row's all right. It's an average game. It's cool. It's fun. It's whatever. I can enjoy something like Saints Row. And that's because I've had to distance myself from the whole PlayStation quality argument, whatever thing. Seriously, that's the worst way to go through life as a gamer, is thinking everything that Sony touches is quality and everything else is trash. Like, you can't do that. And it's taken a long time for me to adjust my mindset so that I can play and enjoy other experiences, because you don't get Sony bangers every month. You don't. And Sony does make good games. For all the Xbox fanboys that are going to like, they make good games. They do make good games. They make these games that the people that love them really love them. And that's the same for you Xbox guys. Microsoft makes those games that you guys love, that you really love them. If the adoption rate was higher on both platforms for the first party games, then we could argue about this. And we could argue about this all day. But as it sits right now, the adoption rate is anywhere from 10% to 20% max for first party games on both platforms. Nintendo has the highest. So the people that love the first party games, they really love them. I'm one of those people that I got into it and I started, and I love them. I think the guys that Sony Santa Monica is one of my favorite studios at PlayStation, as is Naughty Dog. Like, I love them both. I do. The stuff that happened with, The Last of Us 2, while not everybody agreed with it, it was what it was. Like, I thought the story was good. I don't know if it was as good as the first one. Like, after playing the first one again, no, it wasn't as good as the first one, but it was good. It was good. It worked. It did what it needed to do. So I was happy with that. But this is PlayStation's banger this year, man. God of War. God of War is the one that's going to be right there, up there with the Game Awards for everything else. All the stuff, all the shilling that I hear right now about it. I'm not going to shill this freaking game. I promise you that. I'm not going to shill it. I'm going to give you my honest 100% thoughts on this game. I never was a major fan of the combat of God of War, the first game. And I played through that on normal difficulty. Everybody tries to tell me that you got to play it and give me God of War, and I'm like, maybe it'll change it. But I've turned it to give me God of War on the PC, and I was playing through that on that, and it gets way too frustrating. The camera, the way the camera set on the PlayStation version, it made it really hard and really difficult for me to play that at 30 frames a second, guys. I'm sorry, I couldn't do it. There is a 60 FPS mode. I have been trying to do that, but the FOV still kind of gives me problems when I play that. So I will be playing this on normal difficulty as well. Like, I'm not going to stress myself out. I got to get through the game. If it's as big and as epic as they say it is, then 40 hours. That's already going to be like boy, that's about double what they normally are on the PlayStation. So that's good. I'm not going to run through all the side content. I'm not going to go out and hunt down everything, see all the side content. I'm going to do the story campaign. Maybe if the side content's good, then I'll do it. Like, it just depends on the game. But my coverage, this is what I'm thinking, is I'm going to do the 5-hour thing. I'm going to play the first 5 hours, and I'm going to do the little preview review, like everybody else has been doing. I'm going to do that same way. And then when I finish it, I'll do a review. And then, we'll go back and we'll live stream. We'll live stream some of it, because this is a heavy story game. So I'm going to give it a few days. I'm going to give it a few days after I beat it, all of that stuff, before I start just doing straight up playthrough. Because I'm going to do the playthrough for the Xbox guys. So I am planning to beat this game twice. I'm going to beat it myself, and I'm going to put that content out there. I'm going to do the preview and the review, and then we're going to go through after $70 game, maybe a week. Maybe we'll wait a week before we live stream it. I know. I said I was going to live stream the whole game, but yeah, you understand, man. I'm paying $70 for this game. I want to be able to get the best. I want to be able to get the best experience that I can get without having to look and read people's negative comments and stuff like that. Because at the end of the day, like, I pay for this with my own money, and I do want to enjoy this experience. And it's taken 5 years to get from that last game to this one. So yeah, I need to enjoy it. I need to get my money's worth out of it. So that's what we're doing. That's the plan for God of War. So if you like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one.